In this video, I'm going to show you how to write a great thank you email in English. Many times you'll need to write a thank you email when someone does something nice for you. You don't need to write a long thank you email, but you do need to send an email and to send it quickly. Somebody told me a tip one time, which is the longer you wait to write your thank you email or your thank you letter, the longer your email needs to be. So I'm going to show you here some great tips that you can use to send a great thank you email very quickly in English. So sometimes you might need to write a thank you email to a friend or a neighbor or to someone that you know very well. In this situation, the language that you use is going to be more informal, more like everyday speech, more casual. In other situations, you need to write a thank you email at work for a professional reason or to someone that you don't know very well. And this will be more formal. Here I'm going to show you language that you can use for both kinds of emails, for informal and for formal thank you emails. I'm going to show you several examples and then different phrases that you can use so that you can say thank you for whatever you need to say thank you for. Let's get started. First, I'm going to show you 5 examples of thank you emails for an informal situation, like to a friend or a neighbor or somebody like that. Here's the first one. Dear Lana, thank you so much for the lovely dinner last night. It was so nice to see you and spend time with you. We had a wonderful time. Thanks again, Anne. Short and sweet here. So I start off with thank you. I say what I'm writing thank you for. And I only have a couple more sentences before I finish the email. Let's look at another one a little bit longer. Dear Heather, thank you so much for watching my house and watering my plants while I was away on vacation. That was very kind of you and I really appreciate it. I am so grateful to have a wonderful neighbor like you. If there is ever anything that I can do to help you, please ask me. I would love to return the favor. Best wishes, Anne. Dear Mark, thank you for letting me borrow your car yesterday. It made it so much easier for me to move my furniture to my new apartment. I really appreciate it and I'm grateful for your help. Thank you again and I hope you have a wonderful day, Anne. And now I'm going to say thank you for some flowers. Dear Jamie, thank you so much for the flowers that you sent for my birthday. They were such a nice surprise and they look beautiful in my living room. It was so thoughtful of you to remember my birthday. You really brightened my day. Thank you again for thinking of me. Best wishes, Anne. And the last one, I'm going to say thank you for some money here. Dear Mrs. Smith, thank you so much for the graduation money that you sent me. That was very generous of you. I am planning to move into a new apartment next year, and I look forward to using this money to help me buy some things for my new home. Thank you again for all of your support. It really means a lot to me. Love, Anne. So let's look at how I started these emails. First, I started with dear and the name of the person, and then I get right to the point and I said thank you because that's why I'm writing. So I say thank you for. We always use this preposition for after thank you. Thank you for. So thank you for the flowers. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the graduation money. Thank you for dinner. So here I can use thank you, for, and the name of the thing. If I want to say thank you for an action, I'm also going to use for, thank you for, and then I'm going to use the verb with ing or the gerund. This is always the form of the verb that we use after thank you for. So thank you for watching my house. Thank you for lending me your car. Thank you for helping me clean the garage. So The main point of my message is thank you, but I need to write a little bit longer email, so I'm going to say thank you in a few different ways. And here are some other words that mean the same thing that you can put in your email. I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. So these words, they all mean the same idea, which is just thank you. So these are good ways that we can make this message just a little bit longer. I might extend the message by talking about the gift a little bit more, or whatever I'm saying thank you for. I really enjoyed it, for example, or it was a big help. That was a wonderful surprise. We had a great time. Or it was so nice to spend time with you. It was so kind of you to think of me. That was very generous of you. So we can emphasize these positive adjectives with the word so or very in front of it. So kind, so nice, very generous. And generous is a word that I'm probably going to use when I'm talking about money. It's a very useful one when I'm saying thank you for money. But I can also use generous if I'm talking about any kind of gift. So another thing we can do in our thank you email is to talk about how we are using the gift, or how we plan to use it, or how we used it. So here's an example where I do that one. I say, "Dear Aunt Mary, thank you for the beautiful earrings that you sent me for my birthday. I wore them to a friend's party last weekend and I got so many compliments." Short email, but here I do have some sentences to talk about how I use this gift, and that's going to make my reader happy. Well, here's another one like this. "Dear Francis, thank you for the beautiful bird painting that you sent me. I hung it on the wall in my kitchen where I can see it every day when I'm eating breakfast. It makes me think of you and all the fun that we had last summer together, watching birds last summer. I can't wait to see you again soon." In one of my emails, I offered to return the favor. So this means someone did something nice for me, and I would like to do something nice for this person at a future time. So if I want to offer this, here's how I might do it. I can say, "If there is anything I can do to help you, please let me know. If I can ever return the favor, I would be happy to." And before I finish the email, I'm probably going to say thank you again. I'm just trying to make my email a little bit longer, so I might add another phrase, which is basically saying thank you. "Thank you for thinking of me." Notice again, I have my verb with ing, thinking. "Thank you for all of your support. It really means a lot to me." Maybe, "Thank you for being such a great neighbor," or "such a great friend. I really appreciate your help." And then we can sign off on the email, maybe something like this. "Thanks again. Best wishes," or love if that's someone very close to us, maybe a family member or something, a close friend. So now let's take a look at some more formal emails that you might use in a business situation, at work, or with somebody that you're not that close to. We're going to basically do the same thing. We're going to say thank you, talk about how the gift was important, maybe say thank you again, and sign off the email. But you can see right away that some of the structures that I use are a little different, even though they mean the same thing. So let's take a look. "Dear Dr. Wright, I would like to thank you for your support and involvement in the English language program registration event. With your help, we were able to register 300 students for college classes. This is a tremendous success, and it would not have been possible without your support. Yours sincerely, Anne." So I start again by saying thank you, but I used a phrase which is a little more formal and more fancy here. I would like to thank you for, and then I named the thing. And notice also that I talked about the help a little bit, and I had a few sentences. With your help, we were able to register 300 students. And I also use a phrase at the end, it would not have been possible without your support. So this is a good phrase you can use to tell the person that their help was very necessary and very important. Let's look at another one here. Dear registration team, I would like to express my sincerest thanks for your participation in this school fundraising event. Together we raised over $5,000 for the new gymnasium. This would not have been possible without your hard work. I'm very grateful for your support. So again, I started with a little different way of saying thank you. I would like to express my sincerest thanks for, and then I included the name of the thing, your participation. Dear Mr. Fisher, thank you so much for your generous donation to the Lone Star Library. Your gift will allow us to purchase 10 new computers for the library, and this will make a difference to the many students who use our library every day. On behalf of all of us, please accept my deepest thanks. So in this email, you notice I use a phrase which is new here, on behalf of all of us. This means that I'm speaking for a group, not just me, but I'm saying thank you from many people on behalf of all of us. And then I signed off, gratefully yours, Anne. So let's look specifically at some of these structures that we can use in these more formal emails. For saying thank you, I used, I would like to thank you for, and then I named the thing. And I can use the noun, or I can use a verb with ing. And here's some other phrases you can use here. I would like to express my gratitude for. I want to take a moment to express my appreciation. All of these are just different nice ways of saying essentially thank you. And then I like to explain how the action or the gift was helpful. Here's a few things that I wrote. Together we raised $5,000 for the new gymnasium. Your generous gift made it possible to purchase 10 new computers for the library. With your help, we were able to register 300 students. So I use this expression, we were able to, which is like can, but in the past. So it talks about what I accomplished because of your gift. And then sometimes we want to talk for a group. We want to say thank you, but not just from me, but from a lot of people. So a great phrase you can use is this, on behalf of. So maybe on behalf of the library committee, I would like to take the opportunity to thank you. On behalf of the program staff, I can say that we're very grateful for your contribution. And then I'm going to sign off. And here are some ways that I might sign off an email like this. With gratitude, yours, with deepest thanks, sincerely, this one is good for any kind of formal email, or respectfully. So now it's my turn. Thank you so much for watching, and if there's something that you would like to say thank you for that you didn't see here, please leave me a note below and I'm happy to answer it for you because we're here to help. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.